obviously by this point everybody knows what the fuck happened at the Oscars this week. I think the first thing I do want to say is like I didn't know the Oscars was happening this week.
Same. It was like a fucking surprise to me. Bro, that's the thing, bro. Like, nobody cares about the Oscars anymore.
Nobody cares about the Oscars anymore.
And this Chris Rock issue is the reason why everybody's talking about the Oscars. Seriously.
100,000%, right? I didn't
I
know
wouldn't
that.
have given I wouldn't have given a shit about it if this thing didn't happen.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know. Like,
yeah, in fact, even now I don't know who won the best movie or whatever.
I think Coda won Best Picture or something. I think it was Coda who won Best Picture, but hell, I haven't seen Coda, so I don't even know. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
like,
I don't know. Like the hype macam tak ada je. Nowadays, where got Oscar hype?
there's no Oscar hype, there's no Grammy hype, there's none of this shit, man. Nobody gives a fuck.
I think really a pandemic and just right before the pandemic punya time, people start losing interest, because there was a lot of bias around the awards. People were starting, and then when pandemic came and hit, right, there was more reasons for people not to watch because no stars is going to be there.
Correct.
And then it just fade out, bro. Kesian, Oscars fucked up lah, but still
No, I mean,
they used to be like the Oscars, right? The Oscars.
Correct. Yeah, we used to be like, oh shit, Oscars is Oscars.
Yeah,
week.
it's
like okay. Yeah. Didn't the Golden Globes happen?
Yeah,
it should have happened before the Oscars, right? Usually it's before the
correct.
Oscars.
It's usually that the
I
award
don't know
season
shit about the
yeah.
Golden Globes. I don't know shit
Same.
about any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And I think what was it? Monday? It was Monday, right?
Yeah.
When I woke up the day, I was like normal day, and then I was at work, and then
Kali, I actually thought it was it's like a joke.
Okay, let's talk about that.
A couple of friends. Because I just saw images Will Smith tanpa Chris Rock. I was like, might be like some skit they were doing lah.
Correct.
Then I watched the video. I was like, okay, let's watch the skit, right? Okay. Then Will Smith coming. Will Smith come also like damn lawak like that.
Yeah.
He tanpa the floor, he walked back, he like controlling his macho, trying not to smile like that.
Smile, yeah.
And then like when he started talking, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, I was like, okay, this might be serious.
So that's okay. So that's the first. My first question would be that lah. Did you think it was fake? Because when I saw the picture, same as you, I was like, oh, they did like a thing at the Oscars, whatever. And then I started reading, and people are like, oh, Will Smith really smacked the shit out of Chris Rock on the stage. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I saw the video, and I'm like, Mirul, he's not here, but he thinks it's fake. I think based on what he said a couple times in our group. But
okay.
It's hard for me to think it's fake just from the reaction after. Meaning after it happened, after he slapped Chris Rock, Chris was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah, and then even like he was incoherent. He said, well, we're here to give a documentary out. Oscar for the documentary out. You know what I mean? He was
he
goyang already.
He jumbled up his words already, no?
Yeah, that I was like, nah, this don't seem fake. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody seen this and everybody knows that this is not fake. I don't think it's fake. Okay? I don't think it's fake at all. Now, there's a lot of things we can discuss, but let's start with who writes the jokes for the Oscars? It's actually not Chris Rock. Right?
I think it has to be partly Chris Rock, macam. Because or not, why hire a comedian, macam? Like you hire him for his jokes, right? I don't know, like if it's his jokes or get him to be like the expert to deliver those lines.
Yeah, because what I know about the Oscars is they go and the thing about this whole thing also is when you go to the Oscars and you have a host who's especially with a host who's a comedian, you're gonna get roasted. Everybody gonna get roasted. Right? Ricky Gervais last year
That's the thing.
was
You
even
expect
worse.
if this was Ricky Gervais, I don't think Will Smith would have reacted like that. And come on, lah, you've brought in comedian. You know the tradition is to roast.
Yes.
And Will Smith clearly laughed at the joke.
Okay, wait. Before we get into that, because there's a whole lot of shit in that I think we can talk about, but the comedian part of it and the roasting part of it, I think it's interesting. I think the point you brought up was brought up on Flagrant 2 as well on Andrew Shaw's podcast where they talked about it and they said that like if a white guy did it, he probably wouldn't have reacted the same way. If Ricky Gervais, I mean, Ricky Gervais last year that wasn't a roast. That was like, it felt very personal coming from Ricky Gervais. Like, fuck all you rich motherfuckers. Fuck all the shit. This shit is nonsense. Like, I don't even want to be here. Like, fuck this shit. Whatever, right? But I did hear that actually the jokes mostly were written by a team of writers. And then it's Chris Rock's job to kind of like look through and be like, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. This is not funny. That's not funny. Okay.
He comes in like the expert in your knowledge to come
consultant
in.
As like a consultant, right? Like, okay, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say this. I would do this. I would do that. Now, going to your point about, yes, the motherfucker laughed. He laughed. He laughed loud. He was like, right? And then you see Jada rolling her eyes, and it cuts away. It cuts away, and in that 3 or 5 seconds or whatever the fuck the cut was, something happened.
Correct, and they didn't show.
I mean, they cut it back to the host because it was like, all right, like
Achan, like we have done like production classes, right?
Yeah.
At least got 4 cameras even in our production classes, That means the director in the room can pick which camera to choose and show the audience. So 100% there's one camera locked on Jada. Jada and Will. 100%.
No, but they usually what they do is, if you look at, because I looked at clips of Chris making jokes about other people before, and usually they do that. It's on Chris, he makes the joke, it cuts to whoever the joke is about.
Reaction.
Then it cuts back to Chris. That's just the normal, you know what I mean?
Regular, yeah.
That's how it cuts.
For me, right, the funny part is when Will Smith was shouting, in your fucking mouth, take my wife's name from my fucking mouth. I was so disappointed they didn't show Jada at that time. Like, they didn't frame it. They frame it, Lupita.
You see Lupita, she's just
show like, Will Smith and Jada means.
Yeah.
Now we can really, really make some assumptions,
so, my thing is, I think in that 3 or 5 seconds that they cut back to Chris, I again, we're speculating, but I think we are quite accurate with thinking she probably looked at him and was like, you laughing at that shit? What the fuck?
That's the thing.
What the fuck you doing? And his reaction, there's many ways to look at this, but one of the ways is like, you laughed, and then your wife is like, you really laughing at that shit? And he's reacting to that, right? Go ahead.
Anjan, when someone roasts you, right, obviously you're gonna feel bad about the joke. Any roast, if someone shits on you, you're gonna be like, fuck, right?
Yeah.
But you still laugh, you take it sportively, and that's what Will Smith did. He laughed, like, just appreciate whatever, just move on, right?
Yeah.
I think the Jada punya reaction and it like psycho him.
No, because even if you really think, what was so bad about the joke?
That's the thing. Even like, that's part of joke though. Like, you take like this really dark issues or whatever sensitive issue, you make light of it and you laugh at the face of the problem.
Even that, I'm not 100% sure. How the fuck would Chris Rock know that she had a actual problem? Like, maybe he just didn't know, you know what I mean? And he just made a joke, like a ball joke. Because
just make a ball joke,
because she's had short hair before and all this kind of shit. So it's like, I made a ball joke lah. Like that's it. And it wasn't like you're ugly.
Though, like Chris Rock didn't like fucking mention about her disease though.
Correct. And it
He
wasn't
just
like
made a G.I. Jane joke.
no, and it was he didn't say like you're ugly. He just said you're gonna be a G.I.
Yeah,
Jane.
I'll see you in the next G.I. Jane
Yeah.
G.I. Joe movie lah. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
He didn't say like you ugly as fuck because you bald. He didn't say that. He said, hey, I'll see you in the next G.I. Jane movie. That was it.
Jada unhinged though.
No, that's why when he made the joke and then there was that little reaction, he said it was a G.I. Jane joke. Like you know what I mean?
Like Bia, like they're sensitive. Like Will Smith, like come on man, like you should get it lah. Like you shouldn't be like too worked up by this.
Yeah, it's oh man.
I don't know why lah, bro. I feel like Jada really broke him, man, and this guy is like trying to like make it up for it lah. But I feel macam kesian ga.
And okay, so this is the part, I guess, that I've seen people talk about it, but not a lot. I think people are choosing sides, right? They're either like, yo, you shouldn't slap a comedian, and those are mostly comedians being like, you shouldn't slap a comedian, blah, 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 that kind of shit, because he's making jokes. And then there's the other side of people who are like, oh, he was defending his wife and the honor and blah, blah, blah. His acceptance speech was, to me, that was the equivalent of Kanye, whatever Kanye does, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you saying that like, oh, love makes you do crazy things and all this kind of shit, and him because he won the award for portraying Richard Williams, right? The Serena Williams,
correct.
And he was like, oh,
he played the father role, yeah.
And he was talking about, oh yeah, Richard Williams was like a fierce protector of his family, and equating himself to that was crazy to me. He's like, yo, you what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? And
correct.
To me, it's like the part that really needs to be talked about is we need to go back, bro. We need to go back to like, did you watch that Red Table Talk with him and Jada?
Yes.
When you watch that, right, it is a man who, I mean, again, in that Red Table Talk, they talked about, oh, they went through a period where they kind of separated for a little while, blah, blah, blah. And there's a thing about that I really wanted to point out for a long time, but now I'm going to point it out. Jada and August's relationship, entanglement, right?
Yes.
Is scary. Because she says, he came to our family, he was a drug addict, he was going through a lot of fucked up shit. We helped him, and then I somehow ended up in that shit.
Yeah.
If you flip it, and we've done this so many times on this podcast, talked about this, right? If you flip it, and Will Smith said, Meg the Stallion came to us 20 years younger. A person who's 20 years younger came to us, she was drugged up, and we healed her and we fucked her. That would be looked at as you a creep.
Correct.
You took someone who's broken, who's 20 years younger than you, fuck them, and then it's weird, right? But obviously, in this context, it's not going to be talked about like that. Fine. But if you watch that Red Table Talk, Will, I feel, is like trying his best to kind of be like normal and like joke. Go ahead.
In that video, Will Smith punya muka is the face of fucking broken.
He's broken.
Even now, bro. If you see a close up of his face, right, his eyes are
dead. Yep.
He looks fucking sad, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like this Wild Wild West or this MIB.
He used to have that
charm, you know.
Correct.
That light in the eye, you know.
Correct.
Now he totally fucking opposite, bro. Like you look at him, like you're like, damn. It's like I don't want to disturb him. He feels like so disturbed.
He looks tired and stressed and like, you know what I mean. And if you watch that, there's many points where he goes, Jada goes like, "Oh, let's talk about the thing that everybody's talking about," and then he goes like, "Yeah, what did you do, Jada? What did you do? Tell them what you did." You know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's joking, but it feels like he's like, "Yeah, we separated, but we didn't say we would just fuck other people and shit like that." And there's a part where he goes, "I'm gonna get back at you. I'm gonna get back at you and shit like that." And I just think that this is, I mean, we talk about abusive relationships and shit like that, right? Like, this is an abusive relationship. That's what it is. And
Toxic gila babi.
I think in that moment, right, it's Will, right? I mean, I'm just trying to put myself in his position. It's a combination of a lot of things, though. Everybody's talking about, yo, you just, somebody just fucked your wife, like, you don't, you, what the fuck is going on with you, blah blah blah. And she's going on her show talking about, yeah, Will wasn't satisfying me sexually and all this kind of shit. She said all of that.
She's playing on the whole empowerment punya route lah.
Correct.
And if anybody asks pun, like, yeah, you go girl, you take what you need,
bro,
and all that damn positive about her, right?
She said, because I rewatched the Rateable Dog yesterday because I just wanted to refresh, and I was like, she said something. She said, August came to us and he was broken, and it's something powerful about fixing someone who's broken, and that made me feel good about myself. And I was like, that is fucking. If a guy said, yo, this girl was sexually abused and came to me and I fixed her and then I fucked her, it would be, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Saying that, oh, fixing someone broken is like, so it made me feel so good about myself and powerful. That's toxic, right? Like, that's crazy. It's not even toxic. That's just bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, it feels like Will is at a point where it's like, I think he fed up. He fed up with the world making fun of him. Number one. Number two, I think he's in a position where it's like, oh, if I don't do what my wife kind of expects of me, I might lose her, or I might lose respect from her, or whatever the fuck it is. So I gotta go do it. To be honest, let's keep it real. That slap was a terrible slap. It was like
it was here, you know.
Yeah,
he didn't come here, you know.
I mean, Chris moved lah, but still,
Chris
like,
moved.
But even the stance was not. It was like again, and then he walked off right away. He didn't even stand there to be like,
correct.
All right, you can hit me back or whatever. He just walked off right away. Like,
he just walked out right away. He didn't even it's not like a confrontation. It's just like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, because he could whatever he said when he sat down, he could have slapped him and stood there and said, "Yo, keep my wife's name." He could have done that, but he did that. Gerak lu, and then I'm gonna talk shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that to me feels like I don't think he wanted to do that.
Same. That's my opinion also. I just feel like he acted too rashly lah. Because if you think about it, his speech after he won the award, right? I thought it was excellent.
Okay.
You know why, Ajahn? If he didn't slap, right, that speech and then winning the Academy Award, and he because he's addressing that, okay, in this industry, people might mock you and you just have to like smile. And if you didn't tamper and you won the award and you tell the speech, and I think
he would have won. Yeah, he would have won it, right?
He would have class because you address the issue. Because anybody can address. Like, if I don't like the jokes, if I don't like the joke, comedian joke, yeah, I don't like it. But you can't just go and like slap the comedian or what.
Assault to somebody.
The comedian is doing his work, and that's part of the culture and all that, bro. I'm sure Will Smith has seen roast and all that.
He has a show, bro. He has a show on. There's a streaming site called Roku or something like that. I think he has a show where it's like about comedians and up and coming comedians and shit like that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you understand.
Yeah, that's the thing. I saw Jim Carrey in your video addressing this also. Jim Carrey was like,
I didn't see that.
Jim Carrey, some lady some morning show or whatever, she I think called upon Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey was talking about how he feels like very disappointed with Will Smith because like if he was Chris Rock or whatever, he definitely would have filed a case on Will Smith.
Yeah,
and
shout out to Chris Rock. Fucking G. He was like, nah.
Chris Rock like fuck that shit, tire police complaint, whatever, and which makes Chris Rock suddenly winning that the battle. No, out of sudden,
yeah. We'll talk
Chris
about
Rock
what
comes
happened
off as this better guy out of sudden.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is up right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But
yeah, the thing is, Chris Rock didn't make like a really bad joke.
Yeah,
it really wasn't that dark at all. Though.
It wasn't.
He didn't even say anything. He just said your wife's gonna be like in the next G.I. Jane movie. Like, okay.
I think when I was watching Flagrant 2 yesterday, they made a great point where it was like the girl who played G.I. Jane, I forgot her name. They mentioned her name, but the girl who played G.I. Jane is probably like, yo, what's somebody got slapped because they said
they look like
what's
wrong with being me?
They look like me, like fuck, like, like what's wrong with me? Like, you know what I mean?
Correct.
I mean, to me, yeah, I think the real thing that we have to look at is Jada. And I think Miro made a great comparison just now in the WhatsApp group when he said Jada Pinkett Smith is Rosma to Will Smith.
Yeah, just Rosma Will Smith, which is actually fucking accurate lah.
That's accurate. That's somebody being like, yo, you gotta do this shit, right? Because if you watch his acceptance speech, right, and he's talking, right, and they cut to her at a point, and she looks like proud. She looks like, yeah, my man just did that shit. You know what I mean? And I think when I was looking through the reaction and stuff like that, people were saying like, oh, what if someone said that about your wife? Right? Some people were like, oh, if somebody said that about my wife, obviously I'm gonna fuck you up, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, some of the people in the comment was like, if they said this to my girlfriend or my wife, I definitely would have reacted the same. But does that make it right though?
No, to me it's, is your girlfriend or wife someone also famous? To me, if you are someone who's an actor, actress, someone, can we still say actress? Is that a bad word now? Or is everybody actors? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. It's a bad word.
To me, if you're an actor, okay, if let's say Jada Pinkett Smith was not, and this was Akash's point yesterday, and I agree. Like, if Jada Pinkett Smith was not Jada Pinkett Smith and is just a nobody, if I bring my wife or my girl who's like a nobody to the show and you make fun of her, then it's gonna be a little bit like, yo, what? Like, this person is not. If I bring my mom to the award show and you make fun of my mom, it's like, my mom not even in this. Like, you can make fun of me, you can make fun of Jay-Z, you can make fun of Kanye, you can make fun of all this, because we in the limelight is part of the thing, right? But
correct.
If you make fun of somebody beside me who's not part of the limelight, then it's gonna be like, wait a minute, what the fuck is that? Like,
yeah, the thing is, Jada is a celebrity.
Yes.
So you're part of the act. You are invited to the show, and you're sitting there, and
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, lah. Like,
it's happened before. I think also people were saying that Chris had made jokes about her a few times. I think the last time he hosted,
there's a history of Chris making jokes about the Smiths.
Yeah, and so maybe that's why. But I think my only the thing that really makes me feel like Will wasn't mad was because he laughed. If he didn't,
he accepted as a joke.
Correct.
Whether he liked it as a joke or whatever, he was like, haha, all right.
Okay,
it's all a good. Yeah, macam, like even if someone roasts you, macam, you tak puas, okay, he talk about something about you, right, and you tak puas, but you'll be like, haha, you got me there, man, you got me, like that lah. You take it like that, like
that's how it looked.
Okay,
he
cool.
was like, ha,
In fact, if he had now that he won the stunt and he tell the speech code, he can straight roast Chris Rock on the stage. He would have
That
had
would have been so
opportunity.
fire. Imagine if he didn't say do shit. He went to
And on stage, tell his speech, give
at
a
the end.
badass joke at the end about Chris Rock.
Correct. And then ciao, right?
Settle.
Like, yo,
Settle.
you say my wife G.I. Jane to you, whatever.
You whatever lah, you come up lah with something.
Yeah. And that would have
Or
been
you
so
tweet
good.
also okay, don't care. Je. Like
Or even I think if we heard a story about like they did that shit, the Oscars ended, and then they went to some party and Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock at the after party, would have been like, oh, okay. Like, okay.
It could have been like a friendly banter.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they
like just like like just macam you made a joke about my wife, nah, take this lah, fucker, just take this.
like, oh, maybe they spoke about, maybe he went to,
maybe they would have confronted.
That was not cool, man, whatever, and then something happened, and then he
because
him like.
Correct. Now that he did that on stage, it's like butthurt. It comes off as butthurt. It comes off like macam.
And it's very
especially the fact that you already glut already, you already accepted it as a joke.
That's the thing.
And then you went off and create the scene and macam, why Will Smith?
I mean, another thing is what also bothered me was the category that was being announced after the documentary one. Questlove, who's from The Roots.
Okay.
It was his documentary. Someone won, and that was such a big moment. Like, I love Questlove. Like, everybody in hip hop loves Questlove, and it's like Questlove's first Oscar. It's so crazy.
But it overshadowed.
Yeah, it got overshadowed. Questlove told a story about his father passed away in the last few months, and it's like, his father's dream was for him to win an Oscar and that kind of shit. Nobody give a fuck about that at all. And because this shit happened, to me, it's very self-centered. Like, I'm gonna make this shit about us now. It's just about us. It's about me and my wife right now. Like,
because if you would have played it cool and let the joke pass, right, it would have been a fucking harmless as fuck joke.
That's the thing. That's the other thing.
Will Smith was laughing. Jada didn't like it.
Fine.
Move on to the documentary award. Yeah. Nobody's gonna talk about it. Maybe like Jada wasn't happy about it. That's it.
Fine. Yeah. Maybe
now it's immortalized.
It would have been maybe a little meme of Jada rolling her eyes or whatever the fuck.
Itu je. Biasa.
Yeah, it happened. It's happened before. Other actors as well have been like.
You don't like the joke. You're like, fuck this guy lah. Like that.
Yeah.
Easy.
I just
now immortalized. Everybody's gonna talk about it. A lot of rappers are gonna reference them in songs.
I'm gonna slap you like I'm a rock.
Rock you like Will. Whatever.
I'm gonna rock you like Will. Whatever the fuck it is. I think somebody. I forgot who is. Was it Nikki? Somebody said like, "Yo, Fabulous." Fabulous was like, "Yo, which studio is open right now? Can I go like record right now? Get my bar off before everything."
Their number is Rock and Will. It's like so
it's
common,
so
and
easy
you can bend this anywhere.
Yeah.
Common gila their name, man. Yeah. Okay.
And in slang and shit, rock with like slap, rock.
Yeah,
it's all there.
Boleh,
it's all there. You know what I mean?
It's so easy for rappers to do it.
It's too easy. Any of y'all rappers do this shit is lazy. It's too
lazy,
easy.
Right? That's a lazy bar. It's a struggle bar.
Yeah, it's a struggle bar. Like, yeah, to me, I mean, I think I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, we've clowned Will, not us, but the world has clowned Will quite a few times already. You know what I mean? And he looks, like you said, really broken and not himself.
Tired, bro.
Tired and broken. And I was just thinking last night, man, if he, touch wood, did something to himself or something like, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like, I get it, we meme everything, that's whatever, but
that's the right now punya culture.
Yeah, that's the culture now of like, okay, we're gonna meme this thing, right? Like
make fun of everything.
I was at work, bro, and then like I saw it. I didn't tell anybody at work, and then somebody at work said, "Yo, this is the latest trending thing. How can we trend jack this? How can we do this for a brand?" And we actually did it like for farmers. We did some shit about let's slap us ice. We did that, and I felt
Yeah.
gross about it but I had to do it because it's work. But I felt a little bit gross because I'm like, I feel like this dude is like in pain. You know what I mean? And I think this girl, his wife, is someone that is abusive, is someone that is very narcissistic,
Manipulative.
very manipulative, very narcissistic. If you watch her talk about um in that fucking
Entanglement.
in that shit, right? She said something about every relationship has to go through the fire to become good. That's not true. You know what I mean? Like, not every relationship has to go through one person cheating for you to realize that you love each other. That's fucking not true. But she said
Yeah.
that. She literally said, every good relationship is forged in the fire. No, some people just love each other and they're happy, never cheat, and
No,
they're
the thing
good.
is easy. Jada pandai ayat.
Correct.
She pandai ayat. She damn pandai like twist and turn and justify her action.
Correct.
No accountability. Hey,
No,
look lah. Like your husband, right? Like I know lah, you don't care, but he at one time was the biggest superstar in the world.
I mean, I feel like even when the movies weren't doing so well, it's still Will
It
Smith.
was still Will Smith punya movie, and everybody watches it.
Yeah, I watched Bright.
Everybody
It was
knows Will
trash,
Smith.
but
Yeah, I watched Bright. Even my mom was like, "Hey, put Bright." You know, when they were promoting
You
the
see what
fuck out of that, right?
You see what I mean? Like, that
Yeah.
movie is not a good movie, but if it's a Will, your mom knows. My parents also know. Oh, Will
Yeah.
Smith new movie.
Will Smith means must be this.
It should be good lah. Like,
It should be good to watch.
good to watch lah. Fun,
has-
entertaining.
Yeah, he already came up with that image for himself. Like anybody can watch my movies.
You know that I found out that he's like was like a genius from like school. Like his SAT scores and shit are like super high. So I think another thing here also was he went through a transition, right? In the beginning, what we saw of him, whatever, right? And he speaks about this. There's a title interview where he speaks about this, where he went through that period of time where he's like, I don't curse, I don't do this, I don't do that, right? I'm clean, I do all that. And then he went into a transition period where he started to show up on social media and become more transparent, and he started.
He's on YouTube.
Doing all that stuff, right? He spoke about it. He said, "Look, I grew up." He was talking about his father. He was like, "Oh, my father was like someone who was strict, like, and I lived kind of like that." And his father, he said, his father passed away, and he was talking about his father passing away, and he said, "I was obviously devastated, but at the same time, he said I was kind of liberated a little bit because now I'm able to kind of just like I realized that like all this like me being like hey, hello everybody and like this nice person, that's not me, and it's time to show who I am." And that's when he went on social media and started doing. Remember he slapped that the dude tried to kiss him. That was the first. That's the OG Will Smith slap lah. Remember, Drew tried to kiss him on the cheek and he slapped the shit out of Drew. Like, and he said like that was like a kind of turning moment for him because he realized like, like people like when I be myself, so let me just be myself. You know what I mean? And then I feel like in that happening and whatever, that transparency that was happening, he was like, yeah, this is what I feel and blah blah blah. In his book, he wrote that he said this before also in other interviews, whatever, like he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs. His vice is women. He said that, I think he said that in an interview before he met Jada even. And in his book he talks about, he says this thing about like he was fucking so many girls that at one point every time he would orgasm he would vomit. It was like a weird, I don't know what it was weird. I saw this like with an excerpt of it where he felt so disgusted, I guess, with himself. I don't know what it was, but he said like literally I was fucking so much that at one point it got to a point where every time I would come, I would have to go to the bathroom and I would throw up. Like physically just throw up. So this dude has like a lot of like issues and stuff like that in him. And I think the way he addresses it is not the way his wife addresses it. He's like, yo, I fucked up like this, I fucked up like that, I fucked up like this. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was throwing out fucking girls. I don't know what the fuck was going on. She is more like, if just to give an example, if she was the one who was throwing off the sex, she would probably be like, the dude made me, you know what I mean? The dude is, you know what I mean? Like, it's very manipulative. And I've always loved Jada Pinkett Smith. I've always thought she was very beautiful, and she's one of those people that, women that I was like, yeah, man, like, she's hot. You know what I mean? She's hot. She's a great actor. She's all that shit. But now I'm looking at it like, I think she might be
problematic though. I never had a problem with her at all, you know, until this whole red table thing. You know. I got to know about like this sly guy.
Yeah,
she can be nasty.
There's a Snoop. She did one with Snoop. I don't know if you watched that.
Yes, I watched it.
And
the one with her daughters and all that.
Yeah, and the question he asked him about, like, do you feel responsible for Tupac's death?
I think I fucking hate that video more than the Will Smith video.
Yeah, that was.
I just cannot see Snoop Dogg talking to this lady, and
he looked.
I feel weird as fuck though, that video.
He also looked. I mean, she asked him. She said, "Do you feel responsible for Tupac's death?" And he was like, I mean, he didn't do that. He should have done that.
Like,
he broke down. He was like, no, yeah, like I was trying to whatever. So she has, I guess, like you said, maybe it's ayat or whatever the fuck it is. Like, she has a way about her that
ayat,
will break down. It will break you down to where it's like, oh fuck, like, oh yeah, like, and also, and not. I don't think it's just ayat. I think it's just the fact that she is Will Smith's wife. She has a history with Tupac. She has a place in the culture that's like, you know what I mean?
That's exactly why Snoop reacted like that. If, like, say
Oprah,
say somebody else asked this question, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Snoop would have reacted it differently.
It would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
what are you talking about? Like, just because it's Jada and probably has the support around her, right? Snoop went into the whole macam, okay, let's try to be mellow and try to answer and try to keep up with her. And then Willow Smith also like, yes, I'll do. I was like, okay lah, like Jada Pinkett got history with Tupac, probably knows Snoop Dogg closely also. Yeah. They're talking, okay, you budak kecil, who the fuck are you?
Did you see Jaden tweet?
Yeah, Jaden punya tweet.
That's how we do it. Relax, fam.
Dude, relax, dude. Chris Rock is so much bigger than you, man. Relax, bro.
Yeah, and
I see, man. I can appreciate Jaden Smith, right? I can appreciate his style. I can appreciate his I can appreciate his music and all that stuff. But just put out a tweet like that, man.
That's how we do it. Look, you. That's how you do it? Really? Like,
I was like, come on, bro. Let's just stick to our lane, stay in our lane, do our shit, you know?
Jaden and Willow, I think I've said this before on the podcast. Jaden, Willow, like Kanye's kids, Jay's kids are like, y'all are the equivalent of like the Monkera kids who grew up with rich parents.
Y'all already got the platform set by your parents.
Y'all are rich. Y'all are privileged. Like,
no problem with that. Your parents work hard just for you guys, and you guys want to use it.
Correct.
Shoot, but
when you say
you
that's
gotta
how,
be self-aware though. You gotta be self-aware.
When you say that's how we do it, who? Fam, you've never. What the fuck have you done? Like,
probably like Jaden Smith is like protected throughout his whole life.
Yeah.
Like in this like the best titanium fucking carbon fiber protection
Smith,
and all that shit.
Will Smith is almost like royalty, dude. Like,
dude, Will Smith is your dad.
Yeah,
Will Smith. What the fuck?
Yeah,
he's like the biggest.
It's almost like royalty. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're born into this family and you have the Smith surname.
Yeah.
That's it. You good. Like,
You're
you know what
good,
I mean?
man. You're set. You're set for life. Come on.
Shout out to the other. He has an older son who doesn't say shit. I like that dude.
He don't care, bro. He not anak jeda, bro.
Yeah, he was from the other mom.
Yeah, so
right?
he not my mom.
Not my mom.
He's like so chill because he's so out of the spotlight. He don't have to comment on anything.
Yeah.
Probably has some enough money for himself also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lah, like Jaden, you see, right? Bro, your father tried to make you into like Hollywood superstar.
Didn't work.
He set you into like action blockbuster movies and all that. Now you're in the music scene. Probably your father set you up also. Your father also one of the pioneers in rap, right? So come on, man.
What was After Earth? Was it called After Earth?
After Earth, lah.
That shit was terrible, bro. Like, that shit was
movie, man.
I think that was the first time I watched a movie with Will Smith in it, and I was like, this is not good.
Will Smith is like half like always injured in that movie, probably sitting far away. And he's
he was in the ship, right? Like
he was in the ship, and the one we follow is Jaden.
Yeah, and Jaden was not carrying the movie at all. It was terrible.
No, he's not his dad, lah.
He was, yeah. I mean, Will, I feel like even like what's that movie where he's like this matchmaker and
Hitch.
Even like movies like that, which is not action or whatever, it's good. I like watching that movie.
The movie is fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great watch. It's a great watch.
You know what I mean? Like,
bro, MIB at the Bad Boys at the.
Fuck, bro.
Will Smith can pick a lot of franchises with him.
Yes.
Like iconic kind of movies. Independence Day.
I Am Legend.
I, Robot. During our schooling time, right? Will Smith was the star.
Correct. I think they said he had 8 consecutive summers for 8 years straight, where every summer he dropped a movie that went number 1 in the box office.
He can do that, bro.
That's like Drake doing number 1 every time he drops the album. That's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Will Smith means box office. Will Smith means cash registers, right? So.
Yeah. And also not just box office in terms, because I feel like obviously there's number 1 albums, there's number 1 movies that you're like it kind of sucks. His movies are actually like, I like watching them.
Yeah, genuinely fucking entertaining.
When I watch I Am Legend, I'm like, this is a great fucking movie. Like,
it's like he rarely misses like, even like like you can say like the Wild Wild West probably is not a big hit or what.
I mean, he says that too.
Yeah, but still. The guy still has charisma. He's carrying the movie. Okay.
He said that, I think, in that Tyler interview. He was like, what was the movie he did before Wild West? Was it Bad Boys 2, maybe?
Maybe Bad Boys 2, yeah.
And then he was like, I did Bad Boys 2, and then I went off and did a bad movie, and then I came back again and he's talking about Wild West. Like,
Wild West didn't really work out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a guy who's like that. And it's just, to me, when I think about it, it's like, if someone like a Drake, right, who went through like the beef, the thing, come up with his child, whatever the fuck, he went through all that, whatever. And then imagine if now we look at Drake. Imagine Drake looking like Will now, like hurt. You know what I mean? This is a person who has done so much work, so much shit that we love. And then now it just looks like his soul is kind of like gone. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially people who like not familiar with his previous works.
Yeah.
Who wasn't there during his peak. We were there. So we kind of know, like, even if Will Smith
That's a good point.
Yeah, even if Will Smith puts out like bad work after this point, we still regard him as, Will Smith, cool guy, a lot of great movies to watch. People who are coming in now and don't know about his previous movie, wasn't there during his peak, they are not going to take him seriously.
Yeah, like, who's this dude? Like,
who's this dude?
I haven't seen I forgot. The movie is called King Richard, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen it so much.
I haven't seen, but I heard it's good lah.
He played the father for the Williams sisters.
I heard it's really good, but other than that, since I don't know what was his last movie that was really.
I think this movie with Margot Robbie not bad, Chang. Not
Focus.
Suicide Squad. Focus okay, Chang.
Focus was great. I like that movie as well. I love that.
Focus layan, Chang. And he actually looked kind of bright in the movie. He looked still young. He had that spark
even
in him.
Bad Boys 3
boleh lah.
was not a great movie, but he again still looked like he was enjoying
it. That's the thing. He has so much of franchise, right? We can still watch for the nostalgia lah.
Yeah, I think Bad Boys 3 for me was when I went in to watch it, I knew it wasn't gonna be good. The motherfuckers
plus Michael Bay wasn't directing it.
Michael Bay wasn't there. I knew, but it just off of the I know what 1 and 2
you want to see
these
the
guys.
Two friends. You want to see the two friends,
correct.
You know. Yeah.
It's like if who was opposite Jackie Chan in
that's Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. It's like that.
It's like that lah. Yeah.
You know, I just want to see these two guys back again doing some shit, right?
Let them do whatever. Yeah. Let them do whatever lah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't remember when he kind of lost it, but yeah, it's just that I think it's important for us. I mean, I completely agree. What he did was completely wrong. You can't slap a comedian, especially out of.
That's if any other person just walked out or like walk onto the stage and slap, and confirm there'll be a lot of cases. Definitely there'll be like people ambushing him, trying to get him off the stage.
Yeah.
Will Smith sort of like took his power for granted lah. Just like, I'm Will Smith, I'm gonna go slap Chris Rock right now, and
they have a relationship, which is another thing, right? Like Will and Chris obviously know each other and work together and all these kind of things.
I'm sure, yeah. And then Will Smith was like partying at the after party.
No, but if you watch that video, if you really look at Will, he looked worried.
Yeah, you know that sometimes you're worried and you just macam.
But you're at a party and you're like.
And you're like, just go.
He looked like that. He looked like he was dancing to what? Get Jiggy With It or whatever.
Yeah, his older song.
And he was like dancing and he was trying to do that thing, but I was watching the video and it felt like.
Oh, I think in the back of his mind, he's like thinking about it, right? Like, did I fuck up? You know?
I fucked this shit up.
Yeah.
It looked like that. It looked like that. Yeah, I mean.
And then with all the discussions of stripping him off from that award,
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that as well. I think that's bullshit. That is what he did for the movie.
For the movie.
It's not about
behavior.
Yeah, correct. It's for the movie.
Yeah, and
it was that award was already set for him prior to the slap. The nomination card or the winner card all set already.
Set already. He won it for his performance.
Nothing to do with anything that happened
behavior
today.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Today can be caused by anything.
Yes, correct.
He didn't come and slap the winner of the Oscar because he didn't win.
Correct.
That would be a different case.
That would have been crazy.
Like he did a Kanye right on Taylor Swift and all that. That'd be mad though.
Yeah, like I don't. Plus, if I'm nominated in the same category and then he was supposed to win, but then now you strip it off him and then you give it to me. I don't want that.
I don't want that.
Second choice.
Good about it.
Yeah. I'm like the
so
second choice.
So I'm not really actually the winner lah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
you just gave it to me because the guy who wanted to win.
Yeah, I'll just parcel it back to Will Smith.
It's like you run it's like you ran a 100-meter race and Usain Bolt won, but then after he finished line, he slapped one of the judges.
And
then you gave it to me. Or whatever. But I know I came in second place. I was behind him. Like
up till winning the race, that guy was fair.
Yeah.
And, he won it fair, you know. So
correct. I was behind him. I was literally behind him. I don't want this.
He was faster than me. What the fuck?
Don't give
it to me fair and square, though.
Yeah, don't fucking give it to me now. Like
I don't want that, man.
I heard that even though Chris Rock is not pressing charges, apparently in LA there's a law where it's like the LAPD can bring up some certain law of
you can book out the case.
They can still do it as like this is a battery case. We can still
bad behavior punya stuff. Yeah, don't have to be reported, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
as long it's like it's legit evidence there. Yeah, it happened. What?
Yeah, but that's another thing about like I mean, I was looking at just like Black Twitter, and I was looking at like what they were saying about it, and to them, it's like what my consensus of what I look at it is. They are saying it's like, man, it's like when your cousin talked some shit about you, and you're like, shut the fuck up. I slapped him one time, and it's like I'm gonna walk off. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't like a real like. He didn't try to fucking kill him. He didn't try to like
correct.
beat the shit out of him. He was just like, hey, shut up.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like that, no, Chan. It does feel like that. It feel like you're like shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah,
Like
you just shut up. You stepped a bit
just
too
shut
far.
up, please.
Shut
Yeah,
up,
that's it. Yeah,
and
it
go.
felt like that, like yeah.
You know what I mean? So like a lot of what I saw on like Twitter and stuff, a lot of black people are like, no, of course, no, don't charge him. Like nobody wants him to be charged. Judd Apatow. Shout out Judd Apatow, man. This guy, he said, he tweeted and he deleted it.
Deleted it. Yeah.
He said Chris Rock could have died.
Yeah. No lah, bro. Chris Rock just came and was like in shock. Just like what the fuck just happened?
He could have died, and I guess Judd was in the building, and he was like, it was like fucking traumatizing and shit like that. I'm like, again, it's bad. I'm not condoning what he did.
Bad, but
Relax.
it's not like it's not fatal lah.
It's not like Will went there and was like, yo, like with a gun or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Dude touched him on the face a little bit.
And it's not a close fist lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
if it's a close fist and I think
somehow the slap is better than a punch, right?
it was very much I was talking to my friends yesterday also, and they were talking like it can be a bit emasculating also lah.
To be slapped instead of punched.
Yeah, I'd rather you punch me, John.
Correct. I agree.
Than slapping me in front of public, right? I feel like did you like just like really put me in? If you punch me, right?
I could have been knocked out, or
I could have been knocked out, and I feel more. I don't know if this is toxic masculinity or what.
Go ahead, fuck it.
Yeah, I just feel like
he went for it.
Yeah, he went for it. He really like don't like what I say or what.
He was like really like fuck you, like a slap is
like a slap. I feel like I'd rather you punch me, man.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah, just punch me. Don't slap me. I feel like weird.
I feel like what you think? Like what's wrong with you? Like
yeah.
What do you think of me? Like what? Come on, punch me lah. Like
I feel more degraded. Just punch lah.
And it is toxic masculinity, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Because like, yeah, if I was Chris Rock and you slap me, I'll be like, at least try to put me down. Do something.
Yeah.
Like, you slap me and I'm just still standing there, and then that's why it was so fucking awkward, right? He was like
awkward. Nobody knew if it was a joke.
Yeah.
Or it was like what? It became that, no, like this whole weird thing. The whole thing was silent.
Did you notice before he said he got slapped, then he said Will Smith just smacked me on
smack the shit out of me. Smack the shit out of me.
Smack the shit out of me. Then he goes, I could then he continues. I think in a slight moment he thought I can actually say something right now that could.
Right, he played it cool lah.
He literally, if you go and watch it back, he literally says I could, and then he kind of like doesn't do that exactly, but he goes I could, and then he just continues. Like
and then Will Smith comes in with his dialogue
because you said if I'm a comedian and you said keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, you just slap me and I'm angry, I would have been like, oh, keep other guys' dicks out of your wife's mouth.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right? Like
it could have easily exploded, you know. Because Chris Rock is able to counter.
He immediately would have had a thought already.
He's capable enough to pull out a joke.
Correct.
And put Will Smith down and create a super havoc there.
Probably make him come back up again.
Come back and
actually fight. Like you know
front, then you're gonna bring all the bodyguards come in, right?
Yeah.
But Chris Rock, legend guy, like legend. Just like
I
diffuse the matter. And
I feel like people were saying there's, I guess again, two different ways to look at this. People were saying, oh, Chris Rock was so professional and stuff like that. And I think that's just like the whitewash Oscars is like the whatever, and you have to behave a certain way of
Mm,
looking at it. I think, in my opinion, when I looked at it, to me, it was Chris saying, "Nah, man, I'm not gonna put Will in a deeper situation right now.
mm,
Let me not do that. Let me just leave him alone and just move on. Because if I say something right now, it's gonna get worse for him.
mm,
If I say something right now and he comes back up and actually knocks me out or whatever the fuck it is, it's gonna be crazy. So let me just move on. I don't think it's like people are like, oh, you're so professional. No, fuck all that. At the end of the day, Chris Rock is a dude, is a man, and toxic or whatever the fuck it is, being slapped on arguably one of the biggest stages in the world
yeah.
will make you
People are gonna
feel
talk about it. Yeah.
correct. Maybe everybody's gonna remember, oh, Chris Rock got slapped on stage at the Oscars.
Yeah.
You know, the same way we
Correct.
remember, I don't know, Madonna kissing Britney in the whatever VMAs. The same
Yeah.
way it's gonna be remembered now, and he's on the receiving end and can be looked at as like this was pussy, he got slapped, whatever.
Yeah.
But he chose not to in that moment. I
He
don't
he
think.
he 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 really he was the better man, lah.
Yeah, and I did see him apologize. I think he apologized earlier today. Um,
Will Smith. Yeah.
no, Chris. I don't know if this
Oh,
is real.
Chris.
I don't
Oh.
know if this is real, but I saw a post. I think it was on Hypebeast or something like that.
Mm,
Where he said like, oh, there's certain lines. As a comedian, sometimes I don't know where the line is, and I didn't really know that there was a line there that I shouldn't have crossed, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody, blah 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 blah, blah this kind of shit. Will also apologize, obviously. Chris
yeah.
Rock's Chris Rock is on tour right now.
Mm,
If you go and search it now, the the minimum price for tickets for his show was $46, somewhere around there. Now it's $316. The minimum price. He raised his price. And
demand.
apparently sales went up like 200% immediately
Mm,
after for his tour. That's why he did that. Lah. And which is to me is like people were like, oh man, like that's fucked up. Like, no, the dude got slapped on national TV. At least you can do is like buy fucking tickets to his show and go. And if I was living in America, I would buy it because I want to go and see whether he says anything about it or not. Kan?
yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna address this or are you just
Address
gonna
this issue. Yes.
are you just gonna slide? What's gonna
That's
happen?
why people want to buy though. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna like force him to like
Yo, say
address
something,
the
bro.
issue. Say
Like
something about it. Yeah. I'm sure he will. Lah.
I'm sure he will. No pun
Yeah.
intended.
Yes. I wanted to say that.
I'm sure he will. Um, but also at the same time, this is one of those things to me because I've seen Will and Chris together in interviews and stuff like that. Like, I've even seen them separately talk about each other in a good way. Um, Same advice I give a lot of my friends: don't let the girl come between your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all have a rapport. Y'all know each other. Y'all are friends. I hope they talk and iron it out and just let it be okay. I don't think she should be part of that conversation. Even though the joke was about her, whatever the fuck it is, and her alopecia or whatever the fuck it is. Which, by the way, is a little bit contradictory because she's always like women empowerment and women shouldn't have to be this way or that way, blah blah blah. But then she's like, oh, like having hair is like part of my womanhood, and that's why it's affecting me. It's kind of contradictory there, but
Yeah.
yeah, these guys just don't let it come between you guys, lah, because it's like fuck her, lah. Honestly, honestly, fuck her, lah. I yeah. I mean, all the Red Table Talks I watched, whatever, I already felt a little bit of a way about her. But this was like, I think, showcase of what she has done to this dude. And I think Will Smith is the guy who probably can get any fucking girl in the world he wants. So
That's exactly what I told my friends. Like, bro, Will Smith should just leave Jada.
I mean, if
He
I
could pull anyone, bro.
anyone, it's Will fucking Smith.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Will Smith, and I think he's stuck between this. I want to leave, but I don't want to leave because I want to keep this family together. I don't want the image of broken family.
Correct.
I've already built this legacy of trusted actor whose movies
Family
Guy. And when that interview fucking dropped with the Jada and Will Smith, it shattered his image.
Yeah.
The image that he was building all this while, building by himself. I'm going to say it that way. I'm not going to put Jada. I'm not going to give Jada any credit for his movies.
Yeah.
In terms of movies and the performance he put on, right? That's all Will Smith, bro.
What was the Rick Ross line? Bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You know what I mean, like,
correct. She wasn't there. Like, I don't know whether she gave him emotional support. That's their family shit or whatever.
Because if you listen to her talk about what the problem was between her and him was that he was working too much. That she didn't receive whatever because he was working too much. He spent too much time on his career, which I guess, okay, fine, can be a problem here and there, but when your entire lifestyle is mostly dependent on this person.
When your lifestyle depends on this person being the biggest, right?
Being successful, yeah.
So he's got to do what he's got to do. And if you cannot understand the fact that it's actually he's sacrificing he could easily just take the money he has, right? Quit acting, lip pop.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, the fact that he's constantly working and trying to build on that, right? It's commendable, though.
Yeah, 100%. And
his sacrifice and it's fucking commendable, and it's tough when people use that as a reason because he's sincerely working, though.
Yeah, and to me, it's also like, hey, he could have stepped out on you at any time, I guarantee you. But as far as we know, and as far as we watched that shit, he didn't.
in the Red Table, man, not even once that she talks about Will Smith having an affair.
Tak ada. Don't have.
Okay.
And a good point, as I've made this point. Even if he did, he never spoke about it.
True. And I think being macam professional.
And I think it's to protect her. You know what I mean? Like,
correct. Because it's gonna put you, it's gonna
like if I stepped out on you,
paint a bad picture on you too. You know?
Correct. If I cheated on you, then it's like, oh shit, you got a man who cheated on you. That's fucked up. So even if it is never brought up, like, and in that Red Table Talk, she could have brought it up because he brought it up, right? He could have brought his shit up, or whatever the fuck it is. Don't have. So that's what to me is like, oh my, like, this dude. I feel like, because you have to go back to, like, he had a baby with another woman. He was with another woman, and then that didn't work out. And then he met Jada, and then he managed to, like, kind of fix his family situation to where that other woman is still, I'm not sure who she is, but it's still part of their lives and all this kind of shit. I've seen posts and stuff like that. He built this, like, he worked at it and built this.
And tried to keep it harmonious.
And I guarantee you, I've even, like, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago randomly saw a compilation video of, like, actresses looking at Will Smith like they are in love with him. Like, sometimes
where they have the compilation of,
they're just looking at him, and even Margot Robbie, I think during the Focus, I've seen, like, like, people, there are people who are, like, not just like random women, they're like
charmed by him, yeah.
Correct. He's a charming guy, he's a good looking guy, he's fit, he's all this kind of stuff, like, He could go do whatever he wants to do, but he didn't.
And he's like the really big superstar and
Yeah, he got money, all this shit. He could do whatever, but he didn't.
everything he got. Yeah.
So that's what to me is like, if I was a guy who
He probably would have like a lot of girls throwing themselves at him, bro.
yeah.
Confirm.
I mean, if I was a guy who, I mean, he mentions it like before he met her, he was a whore, right? Like,
Yeah.
So if I was a guy, which I also was, like a guy who like was, was fucking around, doing all this shit, had a baby by accident, all this kind of stuff, and all that, and I met somebody, and then I'm like, nah, you're the one, and then I went on to become fucking 100 millionaire, but and I could have whatever I want, and I didn't step out on you, didn't cheat on you, didn't do any of these things. Always kept it like clean, family, this and that. And then you stepped out on me. Not only did you step out on me, you made it into content. Oh my god! Like,
And you were talking about how Will Smith like only found Jada and he didn't step out of the line, being
Yeah.
sincere and all that shit, right? I was about to say something. Even if he didn't do it because he loved you or what, he still did it to protect the name,
Correct.
to protect the legacy that he has
Correct.
built, the family. So what I'm saying is, if anything happened, Boon, you don't like fucking publicize it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You discuss first, yeah.
She made content out of, hey yo, I fucked this up today.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it on my show. And it's like,
And in this show, that it's your fault.
yeah,
Okay?
it's mostly
that
your
this
fault.
happened.
Oh yeah, like I wasn't happy. You weren't happy. Fuck you. I also wasn't happy sometimes, but I didn't step out. Like, why the fuck?
Also, if you're not happy, come and tell me, lah.
Come and
tell me, and you can talk about it in private.
Correct.
You don't have to make it into a huge scene.
Content piece.
And fucking paint me as this fucking broken loser right now.
Yeah. I mean, that meme that goes around of him.
His face, right?
Like, that's not a meme to me. That's sad as fuck, dude. That's the first time I seen him like that. Ever.
He completely lost his smile.
Gone, bro.
He don't smile anymore, bro.
No, even when he smiles, it's like
his eyes, right, is droopy, Like
you are smiling because you're supposed to smile right now. That's all.
Correct. You're not really happy. Your eyes, like the spark hilang. You can sense with people. Yeah.
That's why when I said earlier about him doing something to himself, whatever. Again, touch wood, please don't. But it's scary to me because we've seen this before. You know what I mean? We've seen this before of people who are like deeply hurt but portray like I'm good, whatever the fuck it is. Especially with celebrities, because they have to, right? With us, it's like I'm not unhappy and we can just be unhappy. It's fine. Nobody's taking pictures of us. Like,
correct.
Whenever we step out of the house, you know what I mean? So it's scary to me because it's like how far are people, not just her, but also people pushing this guy? You know what I mean? With this situation also, yes, we can do the memes, you can do whatever, but don't push people to that point. And I think in his acceptance speech, the part where he was talking about, look, man, we're still human. You know what I mean? We might be celebrities, but fuck, was a good point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're celebrities. Yes, they're meant to take jokes. Yes, they're meant to do all these things. Yes, 100% for sure. I agree with that as well. But when somebody tells you, look, hard stop, like, I'm not feeling good. Or when somebody starts looking like they're not feeling good, maybe there should be a stop there. Okay, relax. Like, let him breathe, let him figure it out with his family or whoever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, because I personally, Will Smith was one of those people who, it's like a Jay-Z to me. You know what I mean? Like, one of those people who's like, man, this guy like did so much good work. If you want to talk about why I compare Jay and Will, they both have similarities in terms of they did stuff that was like culturally important, and then they did stuff also that was like world important. Like, most simplest example is Jay-Z did Reasonable Doubt, his first album, culturally fucking important. Jay-Z also did Empire State of Mind, which is the biggest hit of whatever, right?
The commercial, everybody,
Will Smith
the
did,
radio
like,
hit and all that.
Will Smith did like Pursuit of Happiness, which of course was also a box office hit, but that movie is not that formula is not a box office formula. It's
Correct.
not
It's a drama, and
correct.
it doesn't have that flash, that
No
blockbuster
nothing.
flash.
But
Yeah,
he
it's
also
very
did Men in Black and Bad
Man
Boys
in
2,
Black,
whatever.
Bad
They
Boys.
can, so that's why I compare these two, because to me it's like these two guys played the game so well to where Will Smith is still Fresh Prince to me.
Will Smith also played Ali in the
Correct.
Muhammad Ali in the Ali
Yes.
movie, which is also one of his earlier Oscar movies, award movies.
Lost to Denzel, but you know what I mean.
Right. Denzel actually gave him a nice
nice line.
advice, nice line. Like macam bro ga.
I like that. I like what.
Yeah.
I feel Denzel.
to,
I mean,
Denzel's a wise guy, bro. Denzel's just cool.
when I did my interview for The Sun, I think I told you guys that I said that Denzel is my favorite actor.
Okay.
And I think I said that at the time just because I think I watched American Gangster the week before, whatever the fuck it was. But Denzel, but when I thought about it even more after I said that, and I was like, why the fuck did I say Denzel? And I went and thought about it more. I watched interviews of his and stuff. Yes, he is the like calm, older guy who doesn't shit on young people, nothing. He's just the calm older guy who's gonna be like, hey,
wise guy.
Hey, young blood,
knows what to say. Yeah.
I mean, like
he has seen many things.
Yes. Cool. And he's
very,
cool.
very.
He's still cool.
He's very, very cool. Great movies.
Yeah. One of those guys who's just like that, right? Like,
I don't hate Denzel, man. I fucking love that guy.
I fucking love Denzel.
Denzel is Denzel, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the Will and Jay, that's the thing, like, to me, Fresh Prince, I mean, Will Smith won the first rap Grammy ever, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what I mean, like, in terms of, like, pioneering certain things, right? Will Smith has been from then,
Correct. I mean, his first album came out in 89? 89?
Yeah, the guy is, like, fucking experienced, bro.
Yeah, the range. He
has seen a lot of shit. Yeah, the range of stuff he can do, music, acting, what kind of movies, entertainer, comedian, YouTuber. Hey, that's everything.
Sitting on the top of the fucking Burj Khalifa. I don't know if you saw that, but
yeah.
All that shit, like
he can literally go any country and people will be like cool with him.
Yeah, that's Will Smith.
Level of that's like that level of superstar. You have at least seen one of his movies.
At least. Or even if you've never seen any of his movies, you know that's Will Smith.
Correct. That's the level of influence though.
Also, his name is he was blessed with a very
very easy household name. Everybody can remember.
Yes. Easy. It's not Lupita, I'm not
it's not but Lupita punya full name is hard to remember,
Yeah. It's a bit tough, right? Will Smith
is so easy.
Yeah. I think what we saw was a broken person doing something that broken people will do. You know what I mean? This is something that, like, of course, in that moment, I was fucking like, what the fuck? Will Smith slapped what? But when I look at it over the past few days, I'm like, and I think about all the stuff that has happened, yeah, it's actually not surprising if you really think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a broken person. Charlemagne the God always says this thing. He says, hurt people hurt people. You know what I mean? Hurt people hurt people. And that's what happened. Someone was hurt and decided in that moment to fuck it and go. Somebody else made a joke about, like, I wonder if it was The Rock instead of Chris Rock, would he have slapped him? Because Chris is a small guy. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not the biggest guy in the world, right? Like, if it was The Rock instead of Chris Rock, would he have slapped him? I don't know. I don't know if it was Ricky Gervais. If it was a white guy, would he have slapped him? I don't know. I think in that.
I think someone told if it was Jason Momoa who was the one delivering the joke, Will Smith wouldn't have approached him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason Momoa is he's the giant of a man,
and I think if he did, if Jason Momoa made that joke and Will Smith went up to him and did that, I think I would have a little bit more like, oh, you really felt that shit because you could have died. You could have died. Jason Momoa could have slapped you back and you would have been knocked the fuck out.
Correct.
If you took that risk, there was no risk. Chris Rock is not gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no physical risk there. It was like almost like you get bullied all the time by people who are bigger than you. And then in the, let's say the bully crew, there's one small guy. And then one time you catch the small guy alone and the guy says some shit to you like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Because you're smaller than me. I'm gonna fuck you. I'm not gonna fuck the other guys up. But you know what I mean? It looks that way or it feels that way, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, hey, all in all, I guess the winner really is the Oscars, because we're talking about this shit. If we
that's why people were talking about this could be staged because of how this would be like talked about, because Oscar punya magic dah gone, and
I think it's too extreme to be staged.
Yeah, I don't think it's staged lah, but I don't think it's staged. I think it's Will Smith got manipulated into doing this.
Yeah, because but also at the end of the day, we wouldn't have been talking about Oscars on this podcast.
Correct.
If it was a normal Oscars, we wouldn't be like, oh, so the Will Smith won. We wouldn't have said shit like.
Yeah.
It's the same as the Grammys, right? Just a little bit before we end, like, the Grammys pulled Kanye off. Kanye was supposed to perform. Pulled him off of performing. Apparently, it's because of his situation with Pete and how he's been threatening Pete. You know, he did that video, right? The Easy music video, which is like him basically beating the shit out of Pete or whatever the fuck it is. That's why they pulled him out, whatever. I do think that the Grammys have.
Aduh, Kanye.
I mean, Kanye, that one different. That one a whole different thing, lah. But I do think the Grammys have slightly more, even though people still don't give a fuck about it now. Like it
still has a little bit better.
A little bit. So meaning like
I think so too, Macam.
Meaning like
I think so too, yeah.
Meaning like if J. Cole wins a Grammy for Album of the Year, we all gonna be like, oh shit, like let's go, they got it right finally or whatever. There's a little bit of more weight to the Grammys culturally, because also I think the Grammys has like performances from the artists and shit like that. And a lot of times, a lot of artists, we've seen Kendrick perform on the Grammys. A lot of times the artists they go the most. Okay, we're doing Grammys, we're gonna go crazy on this shit, right? They still have that a little bit of cultural relevance in that sense, even though they get things wrong.
Correct.
But the Oscars,
I'm still trying to think. Like, I agree with the fact that Grammy still has that charm compared to Oscars. But I'm wondering what is Oscar doing differently to Grammy, and why Grammy still has that little bit of respect from people.
I'll be completely honest. When I was growing up, the movies that won the Oscars were boring to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm dumb or whatever.
Yeah lah, because those are award movies. They were slower, and they were not like the
like I've never seen.
They were not necessarily. They're not going to be necessarily fun. You know?
Yeah, like I don't know. I could be wrong. Correct me, whatever. But how many like comedy movies have won?
Yeah, they don't even consider comedy at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I always looked at when I was a kid, lah. Obviously, as I got older and got into more films and obviously went to film school and stuff like that. That was different.
Of course, of course.
but when I
You
was-
tend to develop a different taste. You know.
Correct, but when I was younger than that, I always looked at like all these alcohol movies are boring as fuck. Like,
Correct.
but versus the Grammys, like if you say, okay, fine, like Justin Timberlake won the album of the year, I might actually enjoy that. You know, it's not like music that's like it's not like they're like
That-
Beethoven only wins the Grammys. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that means Grammy literally has a little bit more wider range in terms of who they
Correct.
will award.
Wider
They can get things wrong, but yeah, I think like
wider range and also macam they a little more in they're not but a little bit more in touch with what's going on slightly just enough to be like okay cool.
relevant to get people's attention.
Like if you look at this year's album of the year nominees, there's like Lil Nas X album, which I didn't really particularly like, but it's something that if you put it on, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is boring.
Right.
Okay, play on, whatever.
But Oscar punya criteria is totally different. It can be like a movie that you really don't resonate well that won the award. Like macam, even to the point that, like you said, right? Like okay, if Justin Timberlake won the award or Lil Nas X won the awards, you don't mind listening to the album. Like
Correct.
there's still something that you might like. That's something that you might pick up.
Oh, it's like I don't mind you playing this.
Yeah, like that's you can appreciate it in some
Yeah.
sense. Maybe like some movies hard to appreciate because they just don't sit with you.
Yeah, it's
It
just
can
like-
be boring. The like the first 5 minutes doesn't like vibe with you, and even though how slow the movie pun, but if that vibe with you, you're like, it
Yeah,
can be like
because-
the most funniest movie, but if you don't vibe with you, you're not gonna enjoy it, right?
I agree.
Yeah, so I think Oscar, that's why, because maybe they're not in touch with what people like or what really is appreciated. They
Yeah,
just
like,
macam have
for
their
me-
own jury lah.
For me, it's like have a little bit of range, meaning like the Grammys will have like the Beck album and then the Taylor Swift album, and then I think this year Donda is nominated for album of the year. Like there's a range of different things. When I look at the Oscars and what's the biggest award, obviously is the film of the year, movie of the year, whatever you call it. The range is not there. All of it is this thing, and it's like
That's why lah. There's a term called Oscar bait.
right, yeah. You make
You
something.
know what Oscar is going to give you, so
Correct.
I'm going to make a movie
Correct.
for that category.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not going to
make
make a movie that's
That's
coming
good.
to me. I'm going to manufacture a movie that fits their bill,
Correct.
that fits their criteria, so I can be competing in the category.
Correct. I
So
think
make a movie like that. So you know, when you watch a trailer, you can like, yeah, it's
oh,
Oscar
this is
bait,
the
you
Oscar
know?
type. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with the Grammys,
With music, you can't actually do that.
No,
Like,
so-
what
so
criteria is that, right?
so the Grammys' fault is usually popularity.
Okay, right,
So they look more at popularity than the actual music. But
correct.
because there's a good and bad in that, because a Gunner album could be as popular as
Yeah.
whatever, right? You know what I mean?
So if you're Gunner, right, and you made this album, and if you can package it in a way, it might
That
not
is
be
the
like the
same-
most. Yeah, it might not be like the most sonically advanced album, right? But if you can like promote it and pack it in a way that is becoming the most popular, most
Correct.
popping album, right? That's your way, lah.
You're
That's
going
your
up
way of.
now you're going up against Taylor Swift already. Just because
You're going up
you
against
did it that way. You know what I mean?
you have bridged that shit, and you've already
Correct.
gone to that part where everybody's listening to your song.
Yeah.
Even people who are not into rap and hip hop are listening
Yeah.
to your song.
Yeah. It says that in the
Okay lah, yeah.
description. It says that in like the description of like what matters. A lot of the descriptions in a lot of the categories in the Grammys, they always talk about impact. Impact and influence. They're like, okay, you have like best new artist is like, okay, an artist who has come up in the last whatever year that we were considering, who has made impact or influence on music as a whole. So that means there is no formula. It could be a rap artist, it could be a country artist, it could be a pop artist, it could be whoever the fuck it is, as long as you made the most impact. The flaw in that is that does not mean quality lah. You know what I mean? That's the flaw in that. But the reason why we're saying it's a little bit better is because the popular stuff could be great. A Bruno Mars 24K Magic, which everybody heard, was amazing. Yeah, I mean, versus Oscar bait is more like, okay, we're gonna make this like serious drama thing with the talking about this issue and blah 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 blah, just so we can, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
almost like you can like just as like I said, like, you can manufacture the movie. You don't have to like macam think about the idea. You can just like pluck it from somewhere, you know. Okay, I'm gonna make this serious movie with this serious issue.
And it's the same. Yeah, the problem is even with Grammys also you can manufacture, but you can do it in different ways.
You can do it in different ways, and like they say, the impact should be there.
Yeah, with the Oscars,
you can make the movie, and if Oscar can make a movie, give award to a movie that doesn't necessarily meant great box office.
Yeah.
You can be a flop movie, but it can still be an award movie.
Correct. Yes.
When you're talking about Grammys, you're mentioning about impact, right? Impact means sales and popularity and stuff.
Not necessarily quality. Yeah.
Not necessarily quality. It's about who's how many people listen to your songs.
Yes. Correct.
If your album popular, okay.
It's pros and cons in both. It's the only difference.
Correct.
Is there's more variety there's more opportunity for variety in the Grammys.
That's correct. The album could be bad,
but it could be rap, country, rock.
You're exposed to something new.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. With the Oscars, of course, Moonlight is gonna win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Of course, because it's that story of this.
It can be great. It can be a good movie, but
it can be great.
You know why it won, lah.
Correct. Very clear.
You have a clue about why it won, lah. Yeah. That's about it, lah. Yeah.
That was great. Actually, I've never actually even thought about that, but as I'm talking to you, I'm making this up in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think we got on for long enough.
Yeah.
It's a episode that I feel like we had to do. I think obviously Miro is busy this week, but I felt like we really had to do this to obviously address the situations that happened this week. So yeah, I think we can end this here. Gas Station Podcast episode 54. I'm your boy Kayczar, and you can check me out Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get music. I'm here with my boy Sashi as usual. You can check him out on Instagram at Kafka_Purp. Unatedi music video is out on YouTube. Link is in the description. I would plug Mirul, but he hasn't been streaming for 2 weeks, so I'm mad at him. So Mirul, if you're watching this, fuck you. The fucker started playing a game on the fucking stream, and I got invested. Then he stopped streaming. I'm like, fucker, I want to see what happens. But yeah, go follow Miro on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nobu, that's NOAU. And yeah, just line the fuck up. Please don't stab anybody. Peace.